Lions, Giants, Friday. The Giants will be coming in town, what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
For like dual practices?
I think so, joint practices.
Yeah. I think Tuesday, Wednesday are joint practices. Thursday is a day off. Then Friday, Lindsay, they play. So one thing we know for sure, you'll see those clips of the fights at practice.
Wednesday is when they start.
Always. Yep. Always. That's the best part of it. But I don't think there's a big, like with the Lions and the Giants, there's not really any animosity there. We should have had the Packers in or somebody that there's some animosity. Because I don't think it'll be any fireworks going on between the Lions and the Giants. I really don't.
Well, Lindsay, you know how this goes, though, right? Whenever these teams come in for, controlled scrimmages or whatever,
I know.
there always end up being a couple scuffles.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. What if the Giants? I mean, the Giants, they're just blah, right? Daniel Jones, I just don't see it being any fireworks, man. I want them. They need to bring somebody else in where there's some hate in there. You got some hate in there where the D-backs don't like the receivers and all that type of stuff. Then you get action. Then you get some action. I don't see much action happening there.
I'm going to camp tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spenmo will be. Oh, that's right. We're at Feldman Chevrolet tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be out at training camp.
I'll be at training camp. My boy Mustache got tickets. So.
And who are we going to be locked in on, Spenny?
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Penny Sewell, Broderick Martin.
Yeah. Broderick Martin is quickly becoming the defensive Tom Kennedy of Big D Energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's a big man.
I need a full breakdown because it's starting to get real. You know what I'm saying? And the deeper we get into that, the more intrigued I am, the more I think he provides something that this defense desperately needs, and the more excited I get.
Facts.
So, Spenny, I need on Wednesday, I need a blow-by-blow breakdown.
Got you.
All right? I want that for sure. Hoof-Hearted says the Giants got smoked by the Lions last year. They are looking for revenge. I think that'll be oversold a little bit. I think I know what they want. They probably want the same thing the Lions want. They just want to get through this, get the work in, and get out of here with everybody intact. Is that the goal, Lindsay? You've been through your share of training camps.
Yeah. I mean, of course, it's a little different than football because, our training camps didn't really consist of other teams. That didn't happen until preseason.
How physical did you all get in a training camp?
It just depends. Like, when you had a lot of new faces, the new guys were trying to kill each other because, guys are trying to make the team. And
right. You're playing for money.
Yeah. So it was different in that aspect. But a far different crowd from football. Like, when you were a veteran in training camp, you were trying to get through training camp without getting hurt.
Yeah.
And you watch the young guys, go at it. And just different. Totally different. Wasn't fun either.
A Dirty Burrito, who actually called in the show last week, as a matter of fact, said it's getting real, time to get bricked. So there's that as well. How did the meat missile go for E&E?
Meat missile went good. They were out in full force.
Lots of meat missiles here from Big D Energy that were launched
into the E&E chat.
What did they have to say about it?
Oh, they just ignore it and move on.
Do we got one for today?
I'll think of something. I'm thinking something.
There.
All right, but I just wanted to get the update on that, make sure that everything went well. Here's a question I have for everybody here in this room, in this chat, anybody in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. For real. See, I only know Lions preseason and Lions training camp of we're going to suck this year. That's all, with a few unicorn exceptions. But for the most part, you're like, hopefully they win 8 games. That's how I know training camp and preseason for the most part. Because we can say what we want about last year. We didn't have any grandiose hopes. There wasn't this circus that was going on around it. So I only know it as, whatever, and you move on. This is new. Like with huge expectations. And I know Dan Campbell talked and said that the expectations lift him up and motivate him. And that's cool. That's what you're supposed to say. But for me as a fan, I'm wondering, will I have to adjust how I watch? And I ask that question, Lindsay, because I generally watch Lions preseason games where I will watch the first quarter, I will watch into the second quarter, And then when, like, David Blau comes in, I go about my evening. You know, like I move on. Because if David Blau is ever playing for you in a real game, you will lose said game. That's it. That's all.
Right.
So, Lindsay, do I have to adjust the way that I watch this? Do I have to watch into the second half, the fourth quarter, and stuff like that? Because for me, when you get into the fourth quarter of a preseason game, I call it the David Blau effect. In general, if any of those guys are on your team on Sunday playing in a meaningful moment, you're cooked.
Curtains.
Yeah, curtains. No, like, you know what I'm saying, though.
No,
Like,
I know
for
exactly
real.
what you're saying. But
Do I have to adjust? Do I have to go deeper into these games?
I think you do, because the team is actually deeper. The team has more talent than it's had in I don't know how long. So you want to see some of the guys that, you know, may get time or fighting for time. So you want to watch. You want to see who's competing, who's possibly going to make a jump. Like, that's the exciting part, I think. I know when I watch preseason games, of course, you watch the first series, because you know most of the time there's going to be the starters out there for the first series, and they're going to drive down. And you want to see,
and you're getting the needle in your arm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you're getting the taste of it.
You want to see how sharp the quarterback is.
Yeah.
You want to see the receivers make some catches. And
You're going to way overblow what happens.
Of course, you're
Yeah.
excited. You're like, oh, Super Bowl this year, you know. Of course, that's what you should be saying. I don't know what's taking you guys so long to jump on the bandwagon, but I would watch it, especially this year, with all the excitement, all the buildup. Everybody should be on the edge of their seats watching preseason. Everybody should be geeked about what's to come. I just, and I think it's just a slow process because the Lions have been so bad for so long. Everybody's like, okay, like you said, this is new.
Right.
This is the new field.
And that's where the question lies for me. I guess, like, because we're walking into this new club, right? Like, we've never been here before. Like people,
VIPs.
yeah, like the Chiefs fans are sitting in this club, you know, the Bills fans to some degree, the Niners fans, the Eagles fans, and they're like, who are those hillbillies walking in here? You know, like, we got shirt untucked, we're wearing a hat indoors and everything like that, and they're like, who are these guys that are walking in here right now? So I want to know, how do they act in the preseason clubhouse? Do they care? Do they even watch? Does a Chiefs fan watch a preseason game?
Yes, of course
They
they
do?
do. Yes,
For what?
because they want to see any new additions. They want to see how deep their team is going to be. Think about it. They got rid of their number one receiver. Remember? They got rid of their number one receiver. Now they had to fill in with guys that none of us really knew, but those guys perform. All of those guys perform. You know, a couple of them left, got bigger contracts.
Yes, they did.
So I think that's an exciting part about it.
Spenmo, do you think a Chiefs fan watches preseason games? And if they do they watch past the first quarter?
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, like Lindsay said, they want to see the rookies. The Chiefs have been having some really good drafts lately, too, so they want to see these young guys getting in there. And, yeah, I mean, they're not going to be as dialed in as other fans, but they're still just so excited to see their team out there. I'm sure they're watching.
But you get where I'm coming from. Like, I want to talk this through because I don't want to look like an idiot when we walk into this club for the first time.
Yeah. I'm watching. I'm going to watch the whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even into the fourth quarter?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always do, though.
Do you?
Yeah. I watched the
BMG.
entirety of the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, then you're
Well, you
sick.
were with a bunch of people, though.
I was
You
with
weren't by
Jeff.
yourself.
I went home and watched the rest of it.
It's craving football, man.
Yeah.
BMG, you think he's being sus right now, don't
Yeah,
you?
a little bit.
I just wanted to bust out sus.
We're getting JMO reps, too, in the preseason.
Now that I will be locked in for.
Exactly.
That I will be locked in for.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the ski mask boy? He says Lions 10-7 record. Come on, ski mask.
That'll be good enough to win this division.
I think 11-6. That's what I got.
I think 10-7 could even win this division.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But I just think they're going to go 11-6.
Why are we tapering our records now?
Because
is it
Lindsay-
getting too real for
No,
everybody?
no.
It's getting too real now.
I'm betting 11-6.
The season is quietly
All right,
approaching.
you know what?
I'm hearing records drop. I was hearing 12 games, 13 games. Now we're tailoring off to 10-7 is good enough to win the division. It's been
You know what?
11.
I've been at 11-6 since their schedule dropped.
Off-sheet topic that we're going to do when we come back. And I was going to save this for later on, like as we get towards the season, but I think it is a good point to jump in. Because guys, we gotta do this now. We got to fire. It's a game week. We got to get in the routine. We're in this routine till January, hopefully into January, deep into January.
Facts.
Dare I say February? Oh my God!
Let's go. Say it. Say it.
I can't make this. Like, just saying the word February, I got to be fanned right now.
Whew.
That felt weird to say.
Corey Berry says, Lindsay, a lot of Super Bowl champions over the years won 11 regular season games. True, but you want to win more, I would think. you
Definitely do.
Right. I mean, if you can win the Super Bowl, no matter how many games you win.
Anyway, D-Mac. Okay, I do want to put this one to bed because we are getting to that time where we're going to go deep into football. That's coming up very, very soon. Training camp's what, week and a half away? Something like that, and some crazy number. But D-Mac, we've talked about DeBrincat and what he brings and how will the Red Wings react and what are the line combinations. I think what's getting lost in the sauce with all this, and look, I've driven a hard bargain about Dylan Larkin, and that's fair and that's accurate. And Steve Yzerman drove a hard bargain with Dylan Larkin, and that's fair and that's accurate. I'll tell you this, D-Mac, maybe what I'm more intrigued by, just being real with you right now, just cutting the shit and just being real with you right now. I feel like I have a base of knowledge knowing what I get with Alex DeBrincat. I'm curious to see, will Alex DeBrincat, is he good enough to unlock Dylan Larkin? I don't want to say unlock like he's been a bust or anything like that. No, he's been pretty much a point-a-game guy last season. I'm fine with that. That's all I asked for. I branded him. If he's your second center, you're a Stanley Cup contender, period, end of story. But with all this, D-Mac, can DeBrincat take Larkin to another level, I guess, is my question.
And you know what? I'm not even just going to answer that. The question here is, right, is Alex DeBrincat just a 40-goal guy, or does he make players around him better? Right? That's the question. Now, if we look at Alex DeBrincat and you find the back
and D-Mac, hold on real quick.
Yep.
Let me cut you off on this real quick. Because he's just being compensated as a 40-goal guy right now. The value with him, if he unlocks people, that's different.
And here's the value also, is listening to Steve Yzerman talk about him, right? Here's the biggest thing, right? The check mark of anything. How long has DeBrincat been in the league?
5 years.
5 years, right? Is that more than enough time to say at a guy his size or whatever, can he compete in this game or not? You've checked that.
Yeah, that's a no.
Right, so forget the size.
That's a no.
Right, he's learned, he knows how to play this game. He's fast enough. He puts the puck in the net. But he's more than that, right? What I think his greatest contribution to, does he make players better around him? And yes, he's got to fall into the system, and they have to be a good, in their own end defensive line. It can't just be offensive stuff, but really what it opens up is the power play. No matter where he is or whatever, opens up and makes everybody else better, right? And you can't put him in the Brendan Shanahan, Brett Hall-ish category yet because it hasn't produced, but you can sort of pencil him in to that. And did Brett Hall, Brendan Shanahan, being on the right side of the power play make everybody else better in a talent when our team? Absolutely. So it's like no matter where he's used. I think that, and here's the little thing. When you get to Larkin, the fact is that these guys hang out, right, all summer.
Yeah.
Like even in the past, they golf together. So just a little bit behind the curtain of what the summertime looks like for an NHL player in 2023, right? They'll get up in the morning, 7:30, whatever, go first thing, go eat, go to the rink, go work out, get, probably not skating right now, but putting 2 hours in the gym and stuff like this, having lunch, and then hitting the golf course. All of them doing it together. Now, a lot of it isn't just Red Wings guys, it's NHL guys, whoever's in the area. So guys talk and they build relationships and stuff like this. Now, why does that matter? It's the same thing as if we're talking football and we hear Jared Goff throwing passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the summertime, before camp, away from things, right? So they're working on that. what do you develop? You develop that camaraderie and stuff, and that's what's being built there. So I look to Alex DeBrincat to not only add, and to Steve Yzerman to add it more. And when he does, and if he finishes it off and these guys are winners, Neil, then he gets paid
accordingly.
Accordingly.
Rad Dad Scott, DeBrincat's such an underrated playmaker, too. Mike G says, Erie Otter fans. I was a simp. They had a hell of a run, dude. They had Connor McDavid and Alex DeBrincat at one time.
And that's the place. So he
think about that.
What does that make you think when Alex DeBrincat played? In automatic, some people think, oh well, Alex DeBrincat's only good. And that was a knock, right? Was he only coming out of the draft because he played with Connor McDavid?
I know, but then the next year he was by himself and had like 1,000 points.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's also that other level of certain guys that can play with the highest level guys, these meteors, like a Connor McDavid, which tells you whoever mentioned that about playmaker, absolutely. This guy's not just a goal scorer, right? He looks to make plays. What's Dylan Larkin's career high goals? 32 or
something like that.
Something like that could open him up a little bit more. I don't think it's at all he's going to revert from a point a game guy. I think he's going to get better to a 1.2 or something like this, And if he does, and that's what DeBrincat brings, it's also he's bringing Raymond along for the ride. That's the bigger one. I'm not worried about Dylan Larkin. Can Alex DeBrincat get Lucas Raymond up to the 25 goal, 30 goals mark?
And that's, I think, as the season gets closer, that's a discussion. That's my secondary discussion that I want to have, because again, going back to it, I know what DeBrincat is.
So what are top lines, right? Top line. This top line. How many goals does your top line have to put up compared to the rest of the top lines in the league? Is it 100 goals? Is it 90 goals?
90.
90 goals, right?
30 a guy, however that comes. If it's 40 for DeBrincat, 25.
So 90. So that's more of, to me, when and we're only speculating that it's going to be DeBrincat, Larkin, and Raymond.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure, Derek Lalonde. But the fact is that early on, especially training camp or whatever, you're going to play with different guys and figure it out. Neil, back in the day, what made our team so great, we called it the bingo machine. Scotty'd have the bingo machine, right? Where in practice, we always used to practice different lines than we would in the game. Because in the game, when he'd get mad, if he'd be good, and he'd take a guy off the grind line, guy off the rush from 5, and somebody else put him on the ice, and they'd go out and score.
And score a goal. Yeah, I do remember that. And he'd sit
there chopping his ice like the genius he was.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Rich Diana says, Phil Collins won a Grammy for Take Me Home. Great tune. I thought that... I never really was big on Take Me Home. I thought that was kind of his Yellow Submarine, it got a lot of acclaim and everything. I was just like, whatever. I understand people like that. There's a little more to it than Yellow Submarine, which is just a fabrication, but whatever. That's a different discussion for a different day. Dog Pound says, I believe DeBrincat can, Neil. And here's the deal, D-Mac. Like I talk about secondary discussions. My biggest thing is what's he going to do for Larkin? What's DeBrincat do for Larkin? What's Larkin do for DeBrincat? But here, the power play for the Red Wings last year, D-Mac, wasn't as bad as I thought it was. They were about middle of the road in the league. But when you go to the top, here's how it reads as you go down. Edmonton, Toronto, Tampa, LA, Dallas, Colorado, the Rangers. You see, what do all those
teams?
Playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you make people pay,
playoffs.
That's it. That's all. God, Edmonton scored 32% of the time on the power play. It was, D-Mac, as I've told you, it was always with the game starting at like 9 o'clock and stuff like that. If I was at the house working on stuff and I heard they were going on the power play, I'd stop what I was doing and watch. And it was fun. And it was a lot of fun to see. That's, for this team to make the playoffs, they do need to approach that top 10 in the power play. And they should. Right?
Yeah,
they should, right?
Yeah, and still that only makes you better. But the whole thing in the
But Larkin's going to be it'll be more Larkin than it will be DeBrincat.
But the biggest thing, right, and I'm arguing here online or in the chat with Katz, right, where he says you need 4 goals a game. No. You got to keep the puck out of your net and under 3 goals, right? And then figure it out, because then when your power play is, top third of the league, right, you can count on it for a goal a game and then grind out the rest. Right, the NHL, right, you hear from Derek Lalonde, his first press conference. You hear from Steve Yzerman, we're adding goals and we're moving to goals. But the dichotomy and the opposites in life is because until you can keep the puck out of the net and keep your goals against down and have a great PK and stuff like that, then you're not one of these championship teams.
Right.
That's what it is. It's about keeping the puck out of your net.
And again, guys, they're not ready to win the Stanley Cup yet, even with the transaction we were all dying for and waiting for. They're not. I'm going to keep underscoring that, by the way,
But
D-Mac.
you got to be able to, and here, maybe this makes more sense. To Brandon's point, you have to be able to look at your lineup and can you get 4 goals if you need it. In the past, like the Wings teams last year and whatever like that.
Did not have that in the bag.
Did not have it. If they got behind it, was like, and even though they grinded out, now having this guy, having a power play that's lethal, you know that boom, 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 just like the Colorados and the Vegases and the Floridas and the Dallases, right, can turn the game on a dime on a power play.
Yeah.
You have the ability to score 4, 5, and 6 when you need it. When they look at Toronto when they come in here, we got 2-goal leads in the third, and they just go bam, 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 bam. Right. Feed us lunch. You got to be able to do that. But the key to winning consistently is keeping the puck out of your net.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about it because no one's brought that up.
We're not going to talk about it till like September now or October training camp. It's football season.
Machiavelli's to go says, thanks, Neil, burst my bubble rule. Sorry, guy, they're not ready to win the Stanley Cup yet. There's a guy for the Pistons that's been hella fun to watch, Lindsay.
Yes.
In the Summer League. And look, Lindsay, just to kind of recap where we were at with it. Once the Pistons got assigned the number 5 pick in the draft, I think I shared this with you. At that very moment, I altered my expectations. A, with what I wanted in the draft, and B, how I expected them to get that. Once they weren't going to get Wemby or Scoot, I said, you know what I keep seeing everywhere? I see these wings that can defend, that are athletic. Now, granted, the catchphrase now is 3-and-D,
Yep.
which Asur Thompson is not at this moment.
Right.
Not to say he can't get there, but right now at, what's he, 20?
Mm-hmm.
He's 20 years old right now. Not to say he can't get there. But, Lindsay, the early returns are in. And if you want a way over-the-top, grandiose statement about Asur Thompson right now, I'll give it to you. I would say Asur Thompson at that spot, at the 3, at the wing, is something this Pistons franchise hasn't had since Tayshaun? Since maybe KCP, before he left. KCP was the more traditional 3-and-D. Asur is more athletic.
Yeah.
And I will say this. If you look at that game against the Rockets, and it's Summer League, everybody, I get it. Jabari Smith was putting in work against the Pistons.
Yes, he was.
Except when Asur got on him and kind of clamped him down a little bit. Lindsay, look, with all due respect to the Morning Woodward show, and Sam Flannel, and Juicy J. Jeff Iafredi, with all due respect to them, I understand this. And, to some degree, fans as well. They see that alley-oop reverse dunk, and you pop from that. We all do. I do.
Right.
Love that stuff. And I know Jeff Iafredi, he's on Twitter talking about, look at this play, and he's got to wipe the drool off the screen and all that kind of stuff. Those are great. But, Lindsay, what he's able to do defensively, his athleticism, I got more excited when he ran down the block.
Right.
Because we haven't seen that, Lindsay. And those are winning plays. And the kid's 20.
Right.
Lindsay, calm me down about this. I'm not saying NBA Hall of Famer. I never said that. But the kind of dude you can win with. Am I too far in?
No, you hit the nail on the head. He is exactly a prototypical wing that, he's young, and we know he's going to get better because he's going to put the work in, and he'll become a 3-and-D and maybe even better because watching, he looks like he loves to play, and that's big for me. I like guys that appear to enjoy it, and he has a better feel for the game than I thought because I didn't get to see him.
Yes, that's
thoroughly
it.
Make plays and things like that, but I'm watching him and he has a great feel for the game, and it's only going to get better, and I'm going to tell you a great comparison because this kid that for New Orleans, Herb Jones from Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I can kind of see because Herb Jones is a flat-out lockdown wing defender. Like, he can guard 1 through 4.
He's going to win a championship in his career because he'll end up somewhere
where they
need that, and he'll go there and provide it.
And Herb has gotten better offensively.
Yeah.
You know, and Ausar is the same type of player. And if those guys, if they continue to work, and most guys that defend like that will work. You don't have to worry about guys like that getting in the gym and working on their shot, perfecting it. It's just going to keep getting better, man. And like you said, those are the pieces to championship teams. Those are guys you win with.
Yeah, and I got to qualify it. Nobody here is saying, you know, book the Pistons in the NBA Finals next year. And nobody here is saying that every year. I know we have to walk that back all the time. Right. All I'm saying is this. I am very impressed with what I've seen, and it's not just – and look, shooting – you have to shoot the basketball in this league. You have to. There is no question about it. But all those other intangibles that we were told are even more. Like, my favorite thing is, like, the hater that wants to do the Stanley Johnson comp. Stanley Johnson wasn't swatting 3 shots in a game.
No, Stanley Johnson –
2 steals.
Well, I always say this when I was scouting. Look like Tarzan, plays like Jane. You know what I'm saying? You get guys like that have that appearance, that are strong. You're like, man, this guy. Then they get on the court. And
you know,
like,
it's funny. It's funny you bring that up, Lindsey, because we played Arizona the year they had Stanley Johnson at Oakland. We went out there and played, and that was kind of on the scouting report. Like, get into this guy. Like, obviously he looks the part, and he did. They got a steal, and he was out in transition, and he kissed the rim on a dunk, and I was like, damn.
Right.
Made a couple threes, and I was like, okay, you know, like, I see it with this guy. I didn't see, you know, we didn't have like the size to be able to,
deal with Arizona,
get in his grill, and really make life uncomfortable from him physically.
Right.
But Lindsey, I like confirmation from people that know. So I'm not making too much of this than the Ausar Thompson. And it's not the dunk. It's not.
It's you're watching his overall body of work, the things that he does on the court that are kind of instinctive for him defensively. Like, he's getting deflections on certain passes that a normal guy couldn't do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching him play the passing, or I'm watching him recover. Like, people don't understand how hard it is to recover on a guy that beats you. Like, you know, you get the reputation as a great defender. If a guy beats you and you come behind and you tip it away from him or you block it, then people are like, dang, how you recovered from that, you know?
Right.
He does those things. Those are intangibles that a lot of that stuff you can't teach.
DNCENT says, I hope Ausar plays tonight. It's a waste of the 9 p.m. time slot. And, you know, look, the Spurs were always going to shut Wemby down like that. You knew that was going to happen. You see the Pistons are doing it to some degree too. You've got what you need.
Once you see what you want to see,
that's it.
That's all I need. You know,
give the G League guys will take it from here.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the way that it works. Now, Ausar will be a little different because he does have to get work in against.
But you want guys like him that are young. They need time on the floor. They need
minutes.
They need to get those minutes up, you know. So I can see him still continuing to play if they feel the need to. But we've seen what we want to see from him, you know. I love the pick. I love the fact that he's a wing and possibly can be one of those guys that, you know, it'll be a staple in your starting lineup eventually.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was that. It was the chase down block. And it was on a night where Jabari Smith was killing everybody. He wasn't killing him.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Hey, Jabari Smith's going to be nice, Sam Flannel.
Heck yeah.
He better be. He's got to make up for that rookie season that he had. But to be fair, he didn't come into the best situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all agree with that. But he was very, I would say, underwhelming. He's talented, though.
Let me get your thoughts on Wembanyama. What did you think the first game? Don't give me the second game. Tell me what you thought the first game.
mean, you saw flashes. That's the thing. The numbers don't really look pretty, but I agree with Neil. I've never thought that he was going to be a bust or he's going to break down or anything like that. You saw him do things that very few people in the history of the world can do, given his size and his skill set. And then in game 2, I like how he kind of validated and shut a lot of the people up who said, "Oh, first summer league game, he's a bust," and had like 27 on 9 of 13 shooting or something like that. Very, very impressed with Victor Wembanyama. I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, me personally.
Yeah, and Lindsay, I think you and I texted, I believe, about. I was like, I've seen all I needed to see. Like, and that was the first game.
It was the
that
first
was the
game.
first game.
Yep.
I said, I remember, I was like, damn, he's gonna be good,
Yep.
man.
Right. I'm telling you, I just saw a couple possessions and I saw him dribbling. Somebody cut back door. He was like, boop. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
And he might lead the NBA in blocks as a rookie.
Definitely.
It wouldn't shock me at all.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Dude, he blocked someone. I forgot who was on the wing. He was guarding a guy on the wing, and he was standing back, and they tried to raise up and shoot. He just barely was blocked it and took off. I was like, no way. Like, that's crazy. And the pull-up jumper he had, between the legs, hesitate, pull-up jump, boom. I was like, it's over. Like, it's over, dude. I was like, as he gets stronger and more comfortable in the NBA game,
And timing the screens and everything like that. Yeah.
Like, he's gonna be a bigger version of KD. You can't
7'5".
stop. You can't stop KD. Like, when KD gets to a spot.
Well, that's what people don't realize. Guys like KD and what Wembanyama will be, you cannot stop him from shooting because you can't get up there.
Nothing you can do. Hope he misses.
Yeah.
Fight him to get to a spot. Like, we're gonna fight him hard as we can.
Quick question for you from Big Play Jay, and I defer to you on this one. Is Asur a day one starter, or does he start later in the season?
Yeah, I don't think he's a day one starter. I think he starts because of all the acquisitions we have. I think he'll
20 years old.
Yeah.
82 game season.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. His head will be spinning by game 40.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a lot. So I'm with you on that. If he continues to progress, I could see him, especially, like, we'll see what the front office does, like the whole Bojan situation.
Right.
I think he's going to end up being moved.
Mm-hmm.
We're hearing rumblings about it.
I mean, just it fits the timeline, man.
Well, it just depends. Like, what does Monty see his role being?
Yeah.
Does Monty think he can be part of a playoff? Push?
Which is too bad because I really wanted Bojan is one of the great Piston shooters I've seen.
Yes.
I'm surprised when Bojan misses when he shoots the ball.
He can shoot the ball.
There's some news, not out of Lions training camp, but from the Lions organization. And Stacey Dales on Twitter from the NFL Network sent out a tweet, and this is pretty incredible. For the first time in the Ford Field era, the Detroit Lions have sold out season tickets. There is officially a wait list for Detroit Lions season tickets. And guys, like, it's real. We knew it was real before. It is real. We are ready to go in Detroit. We are ready to go for NFL football this season. We are ready to go for Detroit Lions football. The fans have put their money where their mouth is. Do you think people believe in this team? Check. They've sold every season ticket for the first time ever in the history of Ford Field. We are ready to go now. Now it starts, D-Mac. And I wondered about it. When was it going to kick in? That news tells me that it's kicked in. This whole city is ready to go, D-Mac. D-Mac, it's time.
Didn't you see
it's
me?
time.
I was doing the mic drop, ladies and gentlemen. I was doing the mic drop because, as Chuck Brewer said, it's all because my clock finished the countdown. So everybody jumped on board because that's pretty logical. But no, everybody's in, and that's what I love, Neil, because you know what it's like. It's as if everybody's not going and grabbing tickets and being prepared like they're abandoning a ship, or they got to get on, so to speak, the ark. There's only a couple animals left. What they're doing is they're going up north for a long camping trip, or they're going somewhere else, and everybody's getting prepared. And as training camp has come and stuff like this, the excitement's come there. But it's amped to the nth degree, like you said, and showing it financially, and people get behind it, and I'm sure jersey sales and everything else throughout the NFL and whatever it is. But I like the way it is because everybody's sort of still doing it at a steady pace, right? No, they're not. We're not running. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. We're not getting overly excited. We're getting excited about certain things, but we're taking it as they come. Look at what we've had to handle so far, right? First day of training camp, your free agency, Gardner Johnson goes down. Thank goodness it wasn't too bad. Look what happens a couple days later. Penny Sewell, after calling for all the smoke, has to go on concussion protocol. You never like to see. So they're showing there's these ebbs and flows of what's going to happen throughout the season. I think people have been taking it well. You look at, the way we see the fans show up to training camp, stuff like this. But at the end of the day, you nailed it. The fact they're putting their money where their mouth is for the first time is that they believe in enough. Because that's what it is around here. The Detroit sports fan will support if they believe in it. And that's what it tells me, that they believe in everything that's coming out of Allen Park and what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have showed them. And you know what's even better? What I love, too, is the love that Martha and Sheila got, because they deserve it. At training camp. So if everybody who saw that, they're chanting Sheila's in, because that's where it is. And I think that not only are they saying it, they're showing it with their pocketbooks, and they sold out season tickets.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Christopher Carby says Stoke not scared. Corey Berry says House of Pain 7-1 at home this year. Cody Engel says Ford Field's going to be wild come week 2. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. We all have tucked in shirts now. We are D-Man.
Stop, that was brutal.
Yeah.
That was good, dude. But don't. Come on, man.
Answer
that hurts.
Answer 14. Neil, we just need you to believe now, man. You and Spenny need to climb aboard. Push those damn chips to the middle. And Spenny, look, I don't know about you, but I'm the one over here talking about the Kansas City game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I don't know about you, but I'm in it.
Yeah. No. No, but for real, though. That all this does is further what I've talked about, the speech you guys have heard about the Chiefs game, that you have heard, you'll probably hear in about 4 seconds, and you will hear all the way up until that Thursday night kickoff. It all remains the same. All of these factors that are coming into play. Tammy Chin talked about training camp sold out in like a couple hours or whatever it is. That never happened. And that's cute. That's cute. That's fun. But all the season tickets are gone for the first time ever. Like, think about that, man. That's how ready we are to go. And it starts with that, and that all this does is amp up the stakes more, guys, for the Chiefs game. And Spenny, I'll keep reiterating it. You know the holding call's coming. You know the hands to the head on Mahomes is coming. I don't care. Find a way. Mm-hmm. We have this opportunity, again, going back to all this, to take it. To take it. I am getting bricked up, answer 14. I am bricked up because we have a chance right out of the gate to change the entire narrative, man.
Are you raising? You're pushing some chips?
It's altering.
He asked for some of your chips. Are you putting some of your chips in?
D-Mac, I can and
how
look.
How many today can you offer whoever it was that asked for how many chips? He asked for all in, and I don't expect you're not like that to go all in, but can he get 25, 50%?
I would say I raised pre-flop, and I got a quarter of the stack in, and I think the turn just fell.
Committed.
I think the turn just fell, and I pushed in that 15% bet just to see where you are.
Nice.
You know how you got to find out where you are at the table? Just to see where I am. And I will tell you guys this. By kickoff on Thursday, not only will I be all in, I think I'll be more in than the rest of you, because it is a zero-sum game for me on that Thursday night against the Chiefs.
God.
Win, lose.
How are you not a politician? That was so politician stuff, wasn't
sure.
it? It just, that was real good.
D-Mac, it's win, lose. There is no in between for me. There is no close loss. There is no the ref screwed us over. It is a two-sum, two-outcome situation. Bottom line, I do not care how it happens.
Because you know what? That's the big
That's
boys
the league we're in. That's
it.
That's it, D-Mac. Those are the waters we want to be in, right? The fan base has spoken. We've bought every season ticket. These are the waters we're in.
And here's the thing, Neil. It feels like the fan base is prepared for that. If it feels
They've
like
done
they're
their part.
preparing for that, they're preparing for that. That type of ride is zero sum, right? They don't care anymore. Let's get it done. We're beyond that. And you know what? You know why that is? And it's sort of what March 26, 97 gave to us as a Red Wing. It proved to everybody that we were team tough enough.
You know what, D-Mac?
They're team
if
tough.
we'd have said this a month ago, I'd have said, man, that's a little grandiose,
No,
man.
because what are
but
you
you know what?
seeing?
It's not.
But what are you seeing? Because, yes, a month ago, but now you're seeing every day. You're getting reports from Gabriel D. Phillips, and you're getting reports from Broder, and you're getting, eyeballs. You're getting Tammy Chin, who was the first one there for the fans with her nephew, and being out there, you're getting pictures back. We got people eyeball tests talking about it, tweeting on our WoodwardSports.com chat thread, telling us all about the experience because we're vibing it, we're feeling it. Here's the thing. I know that it's new in football for all of us. But winning isn't new for all of us in this city. It's just been a long time, right? So as a fan base, we know, and it's starting to vibe more like it did back in our day, or the bad boy era, or going to work era, or even 84 bless you boy Tigers.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Paul Johnson says it very, very well. They'll never give it to us. We have to take it.
Hey, yo.
Amen.
And that's what
the way
I'm
we
talking
want
about,
it.
man. And to bring that back, like this is the 8 seconds I wish Flannel was here, because I would tell him, I would say, this is like the opposite of the Michigan thing, where I always say, like, Michigan fans sit around and wait for it to be given to them. You have to go take it. You have to take it.
Hey,
you have to fight through some shit and go take it. You have to take it when it looks like you're not going to get it.
The only way out is through.
That's it. You got to go through them.
In life, right? There's no other way. It's the epitome of rivalry, right? It goes back that there's no other choice. It's the old kill or be killed mentality, right? It's the art of war. That's the way it is. And you got to have that mentality.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Chad Fisher. 3 gold jackets will carry us. Steve-O, baby. Neil, I've waited 31 years, and I've been waiting for 31 years, and I'm still waiting for the results. Brother, we all are, man. And we put our money up. We bought every season ticket in that place. We've put our money up. The fans all are all in. They are stoked, not scared. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Chico G. Yeah, 100%. Chico G just left training camp. Broderick Martin is a dude. You did miss that, D-Mac. I've officially hitched my wagons to Broderick Martin as this year's James Houston.
Okay.
Officially. I've officially
What
hitched my
sold
wagons. Scott. That's all. Scott says, Neil, 2 furnace rule 2024. That guy 62, man, the energy is incredible right now. First home game will be intense. Kevin Donaldson, I'm Neil Rule, and I approve this message.
Absolutely.
That is, man.
Wait on the thunder.
Martha Ford, Sheila Ford Hemp's getting a round of applause
Why
at
are
camp.
all your chips in on Broderick Martin?
That's the one I've hitched my wagon to on this draft class. That's the one I'm calling for.
Why?
Spencer Raxter. As a fellow nose tackle / defensive lineman, he knows these things. He was the first on the scene. He's the first in any Detroit sports media to say that dude is a problem. That dude creates plays. That guy eats 2 blockers. Eats them. Is he the one making the play? No, but the guy behind him is.
Yeah.
And that's what this team needs, and he's going to bring it.
What happened when we were at camp, first snap that he was playing with the ones, he was one-on-one with Frank Ragnow. Frank couldn't stop him. He hit David Montgomery in the backfield, loudest thud we heard at camp all day. And then after that, he was getting double-teamed every play, and Aiden Hutchinson had 2 tackles in the backfield because he was getting double-teamed, and Aiden had 1 guy on him.
Thank you. Good to know.
He's the key that's going to unlock never being run on for 300 yards and a half again
Well, that's what we need.
in the 3rd round.
Is that, I know we got to go to commercial, but is that your biggest takeaway, Spenny, from camp?
That and Jack Campbell.
What about Jack?
He just looks the part. He looks the real deal. He's making plays, flying all over. I coined his name the Meat Missile because he's just flying all over. And he's a big dude. Like, he was damn near as big as Hutch out there. So, I'm excited.
What do they look like standing beside each other?
They look the same, except Hutch is, like, beefier.
Right.
But they're, like, damn near the same size. Hutch looks really good, too.
Awesome.
I remember.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll right here, right now. Being honest, do you expect the Lions to win in Kansas City? 68% of you say yes. Okay, I want to get to this because I told you I'm not into moral victories at all. I've seen moral victories. I've seen moral victories against the Chiefs in the greatest loss ever played at Ford Field when the Lions played the Chiefs. So was I.
Yeah.
Was that the greatest loss you've ever seen?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was watching that with TJ and Frank Zombo, former Kansas City, up in the suite. That was unbelievable.
That fucking lateral from Shady McCoy to Travis Kelce.
Great moral victory. Did you walk out feeling good?
Kind of.
That's my point. So Michael Boyd says, Neil, now you're moving the goalposts. No, Michael, that's how this league works. See, this is what I want everyone to wrap their head around, Michael. This is a win or lose league. There's no column for close losses. And if you're a Super Bowl contender or a division championship caliber team, you win these games. Is your season over by the math? No. But let me tell you what is true, Michael, and it goes back to this, what I've talked about in the past. You have an opportunity this Thursday night to exercise a lot of Lions demons that you will not get again until the NFL playoffs. That's a factual statement, man. You don't get this opportunity again. And as I said before, I would take this win, and even if you told me you're going to lose the Seattle game, I wouldn't care. And yes, I know about NFC tiebreakers and stuff. I want this to show me that it's different. That's not moving the goalpost.
Okay.
There
All right.
are no moral victories. There are no, oh, it was cute, they lost by a field goal in overtime. That shit's over, man. Win these games.
Well, I think that, in your argument there is you say you don't care. You're saying to show you that's the eyeball test, the facts that you need to think that you're at a different level.
Yes.
But I look at it, and maybe other people look at it, that if I come out of the first 2 games, right? I think the must-win game is against Seattle more than anything else. Like, we have to win that game. If you're going to say which game do you have to win because of what Seattle did to you last year or over the last couple years, stuff like this, I think that's the win-win game. The Kansas City game's a bonus. Mm-hmm. The Kansas City game's a bonus.
You don't get this opportunity again.
Throughout the season. You're correct. But I think that we're talking about 2 different things, because at the end of the day, when the season's done, it's not the end of the world, but it will be for you to say that you're at a different level. That's the proof you need to beat Kansas City. Then you can say, okay, this team's legit.
Sound Kayak, just be happy and lower your stress level. You sound like someone who's about to have a heart attack, Neil. Because, Sound Kayak, I want this desperately to be real. I want this to be real. We've been told this before. We've walked into this before. And guess what? We stepped on a rake. Yes, I'm excited about it, man, because I want this to be real for a change. And we're so close.
I'll give you real, bro. You know what real is? Because you can do it all the way along. If you're anything like us, there's nothing better to do on a fall weekend than lock into hours of football. Well, now Woodward Sports can top that. Sit back, crack open a cold one, line up your bets, and tune in to watch college football all Saturday, every Saturday, and Lions football Sunday with your favorite Woodward Sports personalities. Woodward Sports Live Game Watch Party. Right here is the latest show to hit the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel. Preparing September 2nd at noon. Yes, September 2nd at noon to watch the Michigan versus East Carolina University game. Then the State versus Central Michigan University game. Then tune in for the Lions season kickoff at Arrowhead September 7th. All season long. Watch along all season on Woodward Sports YouTube channel so we can argue about this live with everybody as the game goes on. Up, down, here we go. It's going to be a heck of a season, whether it's college or pro, and we got it here for you.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Mile High GTB. Just like Michigan, Ohio State, we can still make the playoffs and lose this game, so this game doesn't matter that much. This one does! This one does! I'm tired of hearing, I'm not preparing to lose. You know what I'm saying? This one does matter. This is different. Everybody in the country's watching this game. Literally everybody. No one's watching the Lions play the Seahawks week 2. This one matters. Because let me tell you guys what the narrative's going to be. Let me tell you what the narrative's going to be. They go out and they get cooked in this game. Even they lose this game, they'll say, "Oh, the Lions, man, they're cute. Their coach is cute. Everything's cute." Maybe they'll be back. Maybe they won't. This one does, man. Am I overdoing this?
So now we're getting into it a little bit more. You want it because of what it will mean nationally.
Yes,
that's what you want. So
I want everyone to know.
So you're not even talking about the end of the. You're talking about this game can put you even on the map and tell everybody that what they bet in Vegas and what everybody's talking about, and this is the new Lions team. You want it because this is
real.
This is the coming out party.
Yes,
and
it's
if you
real.
don't win this, then it's all back to being all the same. Nationally,
yes.
Nationally.
And it will be.
So you're talking on the national perspective.
Yes.
I can see how you're
I want that, D-Mac.
100%
and
right.
we can say it doesn't matter. You can say it doesn't matter, but you know it does. You know it does when you go into an airport with your Lions hat on and they laugh and say, "Wow, they stink." That doesn't change. This is an opportunity to change that. And tell me again it doesn't matter. You're bullshitting me. You are. Because you know it's important. That's what I'm talking about. That's why this game is extra, man. This one's different. Week 2 against Seattle is not different. This one's different. That's Patrick Mahomes. You want to be in these waters? Then be in these waters, man. I'm not dicking you guys around. This is real. This is years of watching this team. This is one playoff win of my lifetime. So yeah, I'm extra for this game. D-Mac, it's boiling over now. It is.
No, for lack
I'm
of a better
serious
term,
as I can be about this.
This is as close to a playoff game as you can get. This is a Super Bowl. This is everything. This game is the only thing that matters. Because
to me,
it pops nationally. Yeah, absolutely. Has nothing to do with winning the North. Has nothing to do with coming back. You could win the next. So you're saying like they could win the next and finish 16-1, but it's about beating the. It's about stepping up to the king.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And taking it.
Yeah.
When they don't want to give it to you.
Is it fair to say, like March 26, 97, forget about the fight and all that stuff. We had to win the game because we set the league record 62 wins, got beat out in the playoffs, hadn't beat them in the regular season. I'm talking about Colorado, right? So this is the March 26th game of winning the game. This is how you sort of look at it against Kansas City right now.
Jake Wagner, winning this game doesn't mean ish if you crap the bed the rest of the season. The high of beating Kansas City will fade rapidly if the success isn't sustained. If you go into Arrowhead and beat Kansas City, you're not going to go 1-6.
That's fair.
Stop with this unicorn example. I feel like we're talking about the NFL draft and say, well, if you want a quarterback, yeah, take him in the first round. Yeah, but Tom Brady, that's what that's like. If you win in Kansas City, you're not going to go 1-4. Wrap your head around this, guys. If you go into Kansas City and win, guess what? You're a good football team. You are. Spenmo, check me here. Is this too much?
No.
I don't, because this is real. I'm tired of this, man.
I agree with you. If you go into Kansas City and win, you can beat anybody anywhere. That's what that signifies.
That's what it signifies.
And it's the opening day of the NFL season, and everybody in the country is going to be watching.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally every single person in this nation will be watching.
We want to be in the position to now have the conversation of how do we not come off this high with the downer for the second game. That's what we want to have this conversation and enjoy it, but be talking about how we're not going to allow Seattle to do what they did last year and stuff like this and have to build on it. We're always going to look to be building on this. And I think that the way that the team's built culture-wise, that what we see everybody together is like if they execute, they got an opportunity. So
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Pat O'Shea says it. I'm a 65-year-old man. I'm tired of this. And Pat, that's where I am. I'm tired of it, man. And this is a chance to go take it. And that's why this game is different. And as I've said many, many times, and I will say many, many times, you do not get this chance again until the NFL playoffs. You do not get it again.